Thank you guys, ladies and gentlemen, for attending this joint session between the Mooresville Town Council and the Mooresville Redevelopment Commission. The only item really on the agenda is to discuss the small business fund, but first if we could take a roll call since we have a couple of people that are joining via Zoom. Let's start with the Mooresville Town Council. Town Council President Shane Williams, are you present?
Yes, in the meeting room.
Tom Worthen,
Yes, the government center.
Jessica Hester,
Yes, Government Center.
Jeff Cook,
Yes, government center.
and Dustin Stanley. I am present, Government Center. Now on to the Mooresville Redevelopment Commission. Virginia Perry,
Present, Government Center.
Ryan Taylor,
Present, Government Center.
Dana Heidenreich,
Present via Zoom.
Brian Culp,
Present via Zoom.
Dr. Moore,
I'm here. I guess it's via Zoom.
and
Can you hear me?
yes, we can.
Okay, great.
And I am still present. I haven't run out of the room yet. Chelsea Mans, I see you down there at the end. Attorney from the Town Council, Chu Lee.
Present.
And Adam Sturwell, attorney from the Redevelopment Commission.
Present.
Alrighty. Thank you guys, ladies and gentlemen, so much for doing that. If we can go ahead and get started. Adam.
I appreciate the town council joining us tonight. We've received a lot of interest in creating a fund for relief from the COVID-19 for local businesses. So we thought it would be great to bring in the town council so we could all discuss it together. I've worked extensively with Dustin on this, and Chelsea has done a lot of research. So what we've done is put together a program that meets the legal requirements. Chelsea's done a lot of research and looking at other places to see what kind of parameters they have put on similar programs. And then Dustin has the memo which outlines the entire program, and it's also on the exhibits to the resolutions. Legally, we have to work through a neighborhood development corporation. Not clearly defined in statute, but we determined that the Morgan County Economic Development Corporation will satisfy that element, so that's sort of why they're involved. There's a couple unique statutory provisions that we kind of have to come through, which makes it, you wonder why those extra steps are there, but that's why we're there, so that's why they are there, so we can satisfy the statutory requirements. And then, would you like me to run through a couple of the provisions?
By all means, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So the basic outline program is businesses that are in the allocation area or in the TIF district and that have been affected by the COVID-19 issue are going to be eligible to apply for these loans. The commission is proposing to approve up to $50,000 for the loans. Then the loan details amount are either the lesser of 3 months of rent or mortgage, the amount expended on the construction or rehabilitation or repair of commercial property, or $5,000. You might wonder about the construction, rehabilitation, repair of commercial property. That's one of the other statutory requirements that we need to meet to fit this, make this program work. So the broader concept is to try to find and assist the local businesses that need a small bridge to get through the rest of the stay-at-home orders to hopefully then pick business back up once it's over and to survive. So the goal is to sort of bridge that gap if we can. There are certain details in here, I mean, we can go through each one of them, but I mean, there's options for a 0% 24-month microloan, or a 2.5% 60-month loan. So that's 5 years at 2.5, or 2 years at 0%. And then basic qualifications, because they have to be inside of Mooresville TIF district. It's another sort of statutory requirement of our jurisdiction, basically. We have preferences in here for fewer than 25 employees. Again, this is sort of for the small businesses that have been affected. Any of the other qualifications or details that you'd like to highlight?
No, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, we didn't want to make it 17 pages long. I mean, certainly could have, but I guess the intent is to kind of give small businesses a hand up, not a handout. You know, we don't want to just, give away money. But, people are hurting, we recognize that, and we want to try to be a little proactive in that. That's kind of the intent of it. So I did send out the memo, and I also sent out the Exhibit A to the town council and the RDC. So I guess we can open it up to.
I would say just one more thing on the process of how this would work. What we are proposing, the redevelopment commission resolution is a little more extensive. The town council resolution is more of an approval of the program, but it envisions an agreement being entered into with the Mooresville Economic Development Corporation, a committee being formed, receiving applications, that committee deciding whether to approve or not an application, and then it would authorize the clerk treasurer to cut those checks up to a total of $50,000. All I have.
Is a specific fund within the redevelopment's control, which one is that going to be used out of?
The general TIF fund.
The general TIF.
Which is 406 if you're looking at that number.
How is I'm assuming we're all able to just ask questions.
By all means.
How was the dollar amount of $50,000 determined?
Well, we really just kind of looked at what others were doing. The State Board of Accounts kind of, before COVID, we weren't really allowed to do this. And then Barnes and Thornburg and the State Board of Accounts kind of slowly kind of rolled out this program, and Adam was kind enough to let me know, and we kind of looked at what other communities were doing.
And I actually talked to Chelsea quite a bit on it. So there's a little bit more that's gone into it. I mean, one, we wanted to be good stewards of the TIF and not overextend ourselves with the uncertainties coming forward, but at the same time, we wanted to make it meaningful enough that we could provide assistance for several businesses. Like I said, this is usually up to a max of 5,000, so this is really designed to get people over this last hump than it is to correct everything that's possibly could have gone wrong in the past couple months.
I guess we were trying to target the true definition of small business, not the larger businesses.
Let me say that I do appreciate this meeting. I think it's a nice gesture, and I don't recall ever seeing a joint meeting like this since I've been around. So I appreciate it. I appreciate what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just have some questions. All right?
Yep.
You know me. Back, I think on April 1, I emailed inefficient and all this, so what's really changed since from a month ago?
So there's general rules on how you can essentially get dollars to private companies. And those generally involve like economic development bonds, sort of what the process is for NICEPAC, which involves a lot of work that is far more expensive than to be able to provide, these micro loans. One big thing that really changed all of it was the memo from the State Board of Accounts came out March 30th. And what that did is it relaxed their stance on certain audit exceptions, so long as certain certain qualifications were made. And working and coming up with the statute, we were able to get comfortable making those determinations. So it is really and only available during the time that the public health emergency exists, because that is when the State Board of Accounts memo expires.
When I looked at Indiana code a little bit, and I'm not an attorney, Jewel, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you mentioned the neighborhood assistance program, or what was it called, Neighborhood
Development Corporation.
Neighborhood Development Corporation. That's in the normal statute that talks about giving grants and loans. Even in, there's one for individuals and there's one for corporations. So how does that not apply all the time? I don't recall seeing any language about an emergency.
Yeah, well, emergency kind of comes in and you have to sort of read them together, but two, you have to read what you're allowed to use TIF for, and that is not listed in those sections. That is within certain powers of the commission to use other monies, but not for TIF. So you have to use the memo from the State Board of Accounts and their relaxation of certain audit exceptions to then sort of pull down those restrictions to allow us to use TIF for it.
Do you agree with that, Jewel?
So,
Not to start a fight here, but
well, so there are absolutely restrictions as to what you can use TIF funds for. So I think the delineation here is, this is being drawn specifically from TIF as opposed to other sources of revenue for redevelopment. And so when you talk about 12.2 and the powers of the redevelopment commission, that applies to all funds that are under the control of the redevelopment commission. But as to the TIF itself, I mean, the restrictions are pretty strict there. But generally speaking, I mean, I don't live in the redevelopment world as much. I don't know a provision which contradicts what Adam said. That makes sense.
so is this because it's coming out of the TIF one fund and instead of something like rentable property?
Correct. So you don't have the same restrictions on funds for the redevelopment commission on other revenue sources and streams as you do with TIF. TIF is very controlled, and the legislature every year tries to control it a little bit more.
So this neighborhood program, could it be done on TIF rental property money? Since that's a separate source of income that came from property that you had rented. I'm just wanting to know what all the options really are. In
Possibly.
other words, as a grant program, I mean, these businesses aren't gonna get this revenue back. They've lost it permanently. What they've lost due to COVID, because they're shut down, and some of them are shut down completely, some of them are partially.
Right, I mean, there are far more legal ramifications. I mean, that money has to revert, because we no longer rent the property, we sold that rental property. So that property was in a fund that helped, when we got rent, we also used that to fund that property on its maintenance and issues. So when its money's gonna actually revert back to the TIF general fund, if I understand what State Board of Accounts has told us.
So in other words, what Adam just said is that if you're looking at our fund account right now, account 411 is going to end up in 406. It's just a matter of time. There's still been a few bills. I think we just last month had a credit from the town for over sewer payment. So once that account is, so once, I believe what SBOA said, State Board of Accounts said was after a certain amount of time where basically there's been no activity, it will revert back to the originating fund, which is 406. So if you're just specifically looking at the fund accounts, it's 411 and 406 is what you're.
Right. Okay, so I'm seeing a total of $10,565,063. Now, I know parts of this are already allocated. How much would you say is actually free money in this account? When I say free money, I mean that's not already pledged for a bond payment, not already pledged for another project.
That's a very loaded question. I have a profit loss and a balance sheet. If we're just looking at our redevelopment commission's current liabilities short term, and that is for this year, that's $6.5 million. That does not include the almost $19.5 million of long-term liabilities. And that also does, neither of those numbers take into account, the shell building.
With this, I don't want to talk, you might have questions, I just have questions. Would this apply to the charitable? I've talked to a few charities lately, I just happened to talk to a couple of them, and they were telling me, that anywhere from 2,500 to 15,000 would help them. This is between 2 or 3 charities that I've talked to. Not everyone in town, but would this be open to a charitable organization like, say, Church and Mission or the Boys and Girls Club or Jackson Center, as long as they're in a TIF area?
I don't know, well, they have to be, obviously they have to meet certain qualifications. But then, it's sort of then up to that committee, as I discussed, with all the other applications and deciding how that is awarded.
That they're not specifically excluded from applying?
No. There are certain other considerations. Joel, I don't want to put you on the spot, but providing money to religious institutions, I'm not sure if that's a constitutional issue or not.
So long as there's not a prohibition as to based on that religion, it's an area that I'd rather stay away from, but I don't know that there's a specific thing there. One of the concerns that I would have when you're talking about TIF funds, the TIF property taxes. And so when you have a charitable organization, most of them are gonna be 501c3 or see whatever other category there is. And so from the tax issue, so they would not need to, TIF funds that are received. So any benefit or increase to that charitable organ, and I know it's horrible for me to be on the record saying any benefit to a charitable organization doesn't really help the TIF fund, but the benefit to that charitable organization will not result in a increase or stability into the collections of property tax base, which the TIF funds. Does that make sense? So if I have a charitable club, I don't pay those taxes, so that it's not being collected or captured by the TIF. This money is being taken out of that TIF and spent to help businesses in the area. Ideally, the way I would look at it would be you would want to help entities that would then end up continuing. You want to protect your tax base, so you want to make sure that it's entities that continue to pay into that tax, those taxes.
Other questions from council members?
Any questions from RDC members?
I don't have any questions. I do. Oh, go ahead.
Do we have any idea how many businesses might be eligible for this? Or are we just gonna put this out there and let them apply and determine if they're eligible?
I mean, I don't have a great number for you, but I mean, they're within the economic, or the TIF district in the town. So do you have any idea on?
I don't have a specific idea of exactly what the number would be. I mean, I will say in creating the criteria and looking what other communities are doing, we absolutely had in mind our local businesses. I mean, we tried very hard to make this a page, because we didn't want it to be exclusive. You know, we tweaked some things, we thought of certain people in particular who may be interested, and to make sure that we're more inclusive for applications than non-including people. So I don't have a specific answer, Brian. I guess it would be more the latter of your statement, you know, people can apply.
I mean, I'm envisioning that this is something that Zydeco, Sheila's, Bud and Bloom, all of those right downtown that have been closed because of the government shutdown would be able to apply for.
If they are within the TIF district.
Yeah.
Did you have other questions, Brian? Right.
I don't have a question, I have a comment. I'm just glad to see that the town council and the commission has come together, and we're gonna give the businesses that have suffered from this COVID-19 an option of maybe getting some help to get themselves back on their feet. I've never seen this done before, so I'm glad to see this working together.
Dana, do you have anything?
Dana's muted. Dana, do you have anything?
Okay. Procedurally, how do we move?
I'd like to ask a question, if you guys don't mind. Fairly new business owner in the area. My business was dramatically affected, completely shut down. Single dad, disabled vet, 3 kids.
That's gonna be kind of up to the committee. This is kind of the fund governmental step. So, the committee that will be formed will then, probably have to figure out how to broadcast it out to, working with, speaking for myself here, Chamber of Commerce. We have a great Chamber of Commerce here has a far reach. The EDC, the RDC, the town council, several business owners, sitting around this room. So,
Speaking with some of the others, I know a lot of us has kind of been pushed out of the PPP project. And
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of it, so some are looking for information and stuff like that. And me, I'm one of them. I mean, right now, we're okay, but, depending on what the future holds and what keeps going, we may be, pushing it ourselves, so.
yeah, and hopefully the committee will be able to push that information out quickly.
Do we know when this committee will be appointed? Where some of the businesses can begin applications?
We can do it now.
Can I ask a couple more questions I just thought of? The Morgan County Economic Development Commission will be administering this? Is that how it will be?
We'll have a redevelopment commission will enter into a contract with the Morgan County Economic Development Corporation, which will then have essentially delegated pretty much all of the approval authority to this committee that we've discussed. And then that committee will meet and then award any of the loans. And then that'll be communicated to the clerk treasurer, and the clerk treasurer can draw on the TIF fund to fund the loan.
Who manages the collection and the payments and I'm assuming there are reporting requirements if there are interest payments made and.
Yeah, all those details will be in the agreement that we work out with the Morgan County.
They'll manage all of that part,
Exactly.
not the treasurer's office.
Well, I'm assuming we would work with the clerk treasurer's office and the Morgan County, to determine how to best make that most efficient. And this is sort of approving the broad parameters of the program and then allowing, the agreement to take place.
Where do you think they'll come to apply? Would it be here?
I would imagine it'd be either a paper or an electronic application. And then the committee could either, communicate with them or.
We can put it on the town website.
Yeah, you could put it on the town website, there's all kinds of places you can publish and submit the application. But all those details will be kind of worked out as we go, so, no intent to hide anything, so.
I know.
Yeah,
I feel comfortable saying that it would definitely be on the town website as well as the town's Facebook page. So continue to look at those two places for updates on information and application process.
Is this a weeks-long thing or days-long thing? Do you think?
well, we have to put together the application, put it in, we can simultaneously work with the Morgan County Economic Development Corporation to draft the agreement, have it, and then that way, by the time applications are starting to be received, then decisions can be made, but, yeah, it'll sort of be left up to that committee and the agreement on, sort of the timing. It needs to be soon. The idea is this to be very quickly, but it's.
I have two more questions. I know I'm monopolizing, so I want to make sure you guys do have some. One is, what if this thing gets overwhelmed quickly? In other words, you start getting applications. Is there a possibility of more additional funds that could be put into it?
Yeah, as long as the public health emergency exists, that's really when our authority is,
Okay.
as the commission to be able to fund it.
And given the potential town shortfalls, in revenue streams, period. Delayed revenue streams coming in because of the delayed property taxes, things like that. Do you think this would affect, how do you think this would affect our ability to make sure the town functions in the future? Or through that, let's say.
That's definitely one of the things that was heavily considered in deciding on the 50,000, was that we are not commission does not overextend itself to then need help on any of their obligations or put any of their obligations in danger, or the town. So we have debt covenants that we have to comply with. So there's a lot of other parameters and time that has come in to figure this out, if that makes sense.
I'll also add, if I can, that in resolution, the proposed resolution 2020-1, which is the redevelopment commission resolution, it specifically states $50,000. So it would have to be an updated resolution, an amended resolution. I'm kind of talking legal. So it's not as if there's a rush of applicants and without another meeting, the redevelopment commission or this committee could relinquish additional funds. It would have to come again before.
Right.
Sorry, if
Yes,
that's
sure.
what I wanted to
The-
know, that's specifically said, so it's not just a blank check by any means.
Right.
The commission's approving the 50 so that the clerk treasurer is approved to make draw up to 50,000 from TIF fund. That'll be the committee who decides, obviously, then which businesses are awarded.
What's the drop dead date as far as when the health emergency is lifted? If we fund it tonight, can we go, if the emergency is lifted next Thursday, if that 50,000 is already approved and funded, can we go ahead and roll with that 50,000? Or does the process stop the minute the emergency is lifted?
The emergency is at least through the next month.
Okay, so we're,
Yeah, there's time. I think it's June 30th.
I guess that's why we kind of wanted to do the joint emergency, just in case things all of a sudden got magically better. So,
still under.
I know.
Who goes first?
I think we should go first, as theirs is an approving
That's all.
resolution.
If you have any questions, I don't know. Julie, have any more to add? Anything, it's okay.
It's always dangerous coming in front of that pre-run to speak. Yeah, we talked about this a little bit in the meeting on Tuesday about my overarching concerns regarding the impacts of COVID on the liquidity of both the town and the redevelopment commission. We don't know what the impact is going to be on or assessed taxes that we're going to get for property taxes. We don't know how it's going to affect the casino money, the local road and street because of the highway taxes. We know that our lit is going to be affected, which will hit us next year. So this is going to be a protracted impact on the town finances. So I mean, I'm always leery, and I'm saying this because you said that I can say any of my concerns. You know, when you have, I understand the desire to help the businesses in getting through something that they didn't do. This was not something that was created by them or anything of that nature. But the number one priority for municipalities is to make sure that they can continue to function and provide the essential functions and services that it must provide for a town to operate. Your police, your fire, if you have utilities, making sure you get the utilities, getting the roads taken care of, making sure that properties are properly taken care of so that you don't have health concerns arising out of that. And so, you know, I always fall back on, especially because I don't know, and I don't think anybody can say that they know how badly this is going to impact communities. I don't know, I haven't delved into your numbers deep enough to know where the town of Mooresville stands on their ability to float and have liquidity through this process. We spoke a little bit with Baker Tilly today about that, and so that's my concern with programs like this. I mean, I have other communities that I've represented that have enacted some programs, and it's the same thing that I voice in all of those. Just be sure that you're able to take care of your own house when you go through these processes.
And to piggyback on that comment, Paige did reach out today. The time I sent her email popped up. So we do have a conference call scheduled for tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, a Zoom meeting, I should say. So she's going to be looking at our cash flow and our financial reports and everything, see where we stand. And help with that.
And you'll be able to present that to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
When it's done, you'll be able to present it to all of us.
Mm-hmm. So you're more than welcome to participate in the meeting as well.
Do you,
Any town council person.
do you think that we have kind of a way out with this bond bank, the tax warrants,
Well,
what do they call
you have a limited way, so yeah, you can always take tax anticipation warrants. My concern about tax anticipation warrants is, and Adam can probably speak to this as well because the world he lives in, there's no telling what the tax anticipation warrant market's going to look like as we move through this process, because nobody really knows what the collection's going to be. So normally, we have a generalized understanding that every year or twice a year, you will receive a check for roughly X million dollars. And so since you know that's coming in, you can take out a loan against that because they know that that's basically what you take. So we give you a percentage of what that is. We don't know what that number is going to be, so I don't know what the tax anticipation warrant market is going to be. When you talk about the mid-year advanced financing program for the bond bank, I mean, that is something different, but that is a real tight window. You got a deadline Friday, and then the final deadline is going to be in 2 weeks to apply for that. And so that is a way out there, but at that point, you are now going to be spending interest. So it's not free money.
Right.
You're paying interest on that. Where could be somewhat free money is other liquid funds of the town. So if redevelopment has a cash tranche that could be pulled for possibility of a loan from there coming out, where if there is an interest payment, it's lower, but it's still being captured for the town.
I think Tom had that idea. Don't let me put words in your mouth, Tom, but you mentioned something along those lines before.
I didn't say anything about paying interest.
Okay.
He certainly did not.
You have those options here. So the minute you start taking tax anticipation warrants, now you're getting, essentially, you're receiving less money to provide the functions because you're going to be paid that interest in this market. And then with the municipal liquidity funding that's coming through the feds, Bond Bank is putting out guidance right now that the interest rate on that is actually going to be a higher interest rate than their normal money. So they want to force everybody through the mid-year funding program and every other option that you have before going to the MLF funding. And that's why I always say that I'm concerned about liquidity for our municipality.
Hearing all that, are you comfortable? You know your accounts better than anyone. So 50,000 is you feel is a comfortable place to be?
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed it extensively. I mean, we said that this is, we don't want to put ourselves in jeopardy of having issues where we're going to borrow ourselves. And then, but we also just wanted to help in the TIF district, those, especially those that pay taxes, that come back through the system that we eventually receive or the underlying units receive, that we can, if we never got anything back, we would not put ourselves in jeopardy with any of our other obligations. Obviously, if things are beyond terrible and no one ever pays taxes again, then eventually that 50,000 would be important, but not on anything that we're expecting.
I don't wanna do something that's a conflict there, so what would I do if I vote for this? What would happen with that?
So I will voice my opinion to you as the attorney for the town. I would make sure that you are not doing anything, essentially.
Right.
So you're not gonna be the one putting the application together for the tenant. If you're on the committee, if one of your tenants' applications come up, that you would recuse yourself from that consideration, because I think people might be able to extend it to, if you have a say in anything that goes that way, well, then, now you voted for that so that they could stay in business, so that they could continue to pay you rent, right? And if they're paying you rent and some of this is going towards rent, then it's trying to get rent back to your pocket.
But I don't need to recuse myself from the initial vote.
I don't think you need to recuse yourself from the vote regarding the generalized approval of this program, because there's no guarantee, one, that your tenant will apply for it, two, that your tenant will make whatever cuts that there are or comply with it. When that arises, then that's a situation I think you pull yourself out of if you are on that committee. The fact that you voiced this in this meeting, to know, I think, kind of protect yourself from that. But
I'd rather not be on the committee if I can just avoid that altogether.
I think that'd probably be the best case.
Because of this, my particular situation. I'm done.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Over, under? I got that. All right. With that, the RDC, I will take a motion to approve resolution number 1, 2020. Going once.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 2021.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that. Brian called on Zoom.
Motion, I have a second. We'll do a roll call. Virginia Perry, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ryan Taylor?
Aye.
Brian Culp?
Aye.
Dana Heidenreich?
Aye.
And Dustin Stanley? Aye. Motion passes from the RDC.
So you have a resolution? You have it prepared there? You have it prepared. I didn't get a copy.
That's my fault.
Did you get a copy of what that?
So, just so you know, Adam sent that to me, so I reviewed it.
Okay.
The language, so on the legality wise, that's fine, that's a legal function. Essentially, what this resolution is kind of a blessing to the redevelopment commission, and yes, we do listen to you before with it. Show that it's a community.
Any questions before I ask for the motion? So this would be resolution number 5-20 for us to approve the loan program. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 5-2020.
Jessica Hester makes the motion to approve resolution 5-2020. Do I have a second?
Stanley will second.
Councilman Stanley seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll take a roll call vote since we're in the audience. Jeff Cook?
Aye.
Jeff Cook votes aye. Jessica Hester?
Aye.
Jessica Hester votes aye. Tom Worthing.
Aye.
Tom Worthing votes aye. Justin Stanley.
Aye.
Justin Stanley votes aye. Shane Williams votes aye. The motion passes.
Well, thank you for supporting the RDC's resolution. Before you guys run off, I know, Jeff, you have to get to work, and Jessica, you have kids as much of us up here does. Can we go ahead and discuss the committee real quick so we can get that started? The idea is to maybe have a 5-person committee, an odd number. Was looking at 2 RDC, 2 town council, and an EDC member. Is there any objection? Oh, sorry.
Well, yeah, did you want Chelsea on there?
I do.
I would say RDC, town council, 2 RDC, town council. You want Chelsea and then the EDC, or you're also a town council member here, so that's. Yeah, if you have 2 more times, then you have a quorum on town council, you have 2 people. You overlap. Right. No, you're fine, we need to have
Okay.
town council member, it's now the resolve commission member, Chelsea, and
So I need Chelsea Mans, 2 RDC members, an EDC, and a town council.
yeah, the EDC member can be,
Mike Dillon.
or they can decide that once we get all the details out of that.
Councilman Sam, are you going to sit on the committee?
I would like to, and that's why I had to switch it real quick, because I overlap, and we ran into a quorum issue there.
So, I mean, I think you could just word that it's going to be Chelsea and Jude, who would be a redevelopment commission and a council. So we need 1 additional council member, 1 additional redevelopment commission member, member of the EDC, appointment of the EDC, Chelsea. So you still have, it's still technically a 2-2
Okay.
situation. It's just,
Procedurally, I think we need a motion to propose a 5-man or 5-person committee with 1 to be appointed by the town council, 2 by, or 3 by, I guess, by the redevelopment commission, and 1 by the EDC. And then a motion on whoever you want on the board.
Did you get that?
Sure.
So the first motion would just be to have a 5-person committee, 3 by the redevelopment commission, 1 by the town council, and 1 by the EDC.
So we'll take care of that, we'll take care of our one. Okay.
Yes.
RDC members, I will open up for a motion to form a 5-member committee to oversee the small business loan program. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion for the 5-person committee.
I have a motion. Go ahead.
Also with how,
Yeah, consisting,
Okay.
yeah.
That will consist of 3 RDC, 1 EDC, and 1 additional town council member since I overlap. Is that,
yeah, 3 appointments by the redevelopment commission.
okay. 3 RDC, 1 EDC, and 1 town council.
Yes.
Am I good, Dr. Seuss? All right. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call. Brian Culp, as you're laughing.
Aye.
Dana Heidenreich.
Aye.
Virginia Perry.
Aye.
Ryan Taylor.
Aye.
Dustin Stanley. I will vote aye as well. Motion passes.
Then a motion and discussion on your 3 appointments.
discussion and motion. Who would we like to be on there? I have my comments, but I'll allow Virginia to go first.
Well, I was just gonna make a motion for sure that Chelsea should be on there, no question, yeah.
Do you want to do these individually, or?
You wanna be?
Whoever wants to make a motion can do it individually or as a whole. I would discuss as a whole and then.
Dustin, just a question, with my involvement with PPP loans, is that something that should remain separate from this?
Mm-hmm.
I think unless the applicant specifically goes through.
We were asking them to also apply for federal funding.
Yeah.
I would err on the side of
Caution.
caution and not having this be turned into something that's not.
Hmm? Yeah. And then we'll try. For those that are on Zoom, Ryan Taylor will have to recuse himself from this. So, or not volunteer for the committee, let me put it that way. Do we have any volunteers? Dr. Moore, you said something?
I was agreeing that Ryan should probably not be on it because of his position in the bank, because he'll be facing chance of double whammy from a business or a loan. So I agree that he shouldn't be involved in that because he knows the business. If you want me to be on it, I will be delighted to serve on it. As you know, I'm not a voting member of the RDC, but I would be happy to serve if needed. I would also happily step aside if there's someone else that wants to do it.
I should point out, I have been appointed to the committee that is going to be looking at the Oprah loans, or the Oprah grant, that could possibly be a conflict.
Dana, do you have any thoughts?
Well, it seems like we're whittling it down here. Between Dr. Moore and Virginia, I don't know, do they have any conflicts?
I don't think I have any conflicts. And being fully retired, I have the time. I'm hunkered down with this coronavirus, but I can make meetings.
Oh. I have no conflicts.
Dustin, who would you like to see on there? Is Mike Dellinger going to be on there?
That would be up to the Economic Development Corporation.
Okay.
Justin, and Adam, did you say that Chelsea would be part of it, would be one of the three?
Virginia expressed interest in that, or Virginia expressed that Chelsea should be one of the three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim, do you think not being a voting member that I should stay out of that? That would be the only hang-up I could see.
No, we don't want to have a technical quorum either, so we can't have 3 voting members.
Oh, there you go.
We shouldn't
Okay.
have 3 voting members.
All right.
With all the discussion, I will open up the floor for the 3 spots for a motion.
I would make a motion that Chelsea Larry, and Virginia be on that committee.
You need Dustin.
Isn't Dustin council appointee?
We have not discussed that as a council.
Well, I made my motion.
I have a motion, do we have a second? Oh, sorry.
That would preclude Dustin from being the appointee from the town council, I would say.
Oh, okay, because he would,
Yes, because that would make 3 redevelopment commission members.
okay.
Let me off and put Dustin on. It's okay with me, I'll serve any way necessary.
That qualifies.
Chelsea and Larry, neither one is a voting redevelopment commission member.
Oh,
Are they? Right?
Right?
right.
So that would be 2 non-voting members and then 1 voting member.
That is true.
You are correct, sorry, I counted Dr. Morris a voting member.
So if Dustin was a town council person, then there would only be 2 voting members from RDC.
Correct. Yes.
Can I point something out?
Yes.
I think our resolution that we passed says, if I'm wrong, it says the president or vice president of the council to be on the committee.
It just authorizes you to sign any certificates or anything needed.
But we don't, how many do we get on there? Just 1, I thought.
Right.
So it's gotta be the vice president or president from the council, right? Or what am I missing?
No, that's, I generally have that in as a catch-all on all resolutions in the event that
Oh.
there's always some random certificate or something that always has to be signed so that we make sure that we're never in technical violation. But I'll defer to Jewel on your official legal counsel, but your appointment, whoever your appointee is, will be granted the authority to make those decisions and meet with the committee.
It's just there'll be a separate signature from.
Correct. So the way I read this resolution is that if there's a document that needs to be executed by the town council to make this happen, which I'm trying to think through, I don't know what that would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about TIF dollars, but if there were, then the president or the vice president would be granted the authority to execute that without having to take any further action.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem, it's a good question.
I will also just say, I am assuming I will be pretty involved just from a managerial standpoint. Collecting the applications will likely, presumably fall to me. So I'm happy to not be on the committee and play more of a managerial role, if you would like to go with Dustin, Larry, and Virginia. I'm assuming you're fine with that.
Yeah,
That's,
I will do whatever. I'm on all 3, so I'm okay.
just throwing that out there, whatever you guys want. Happy to do whatever.
Brian, does your motion stand with Chelsea, Larry, and Virginia?
Well, unless Chelsea is saying she doesn't want to be a part of it.
I'm happy to serve however you would like for me to serve. I will be involved one way or another. Happy to do whatever you'd like.
If you're on the committee, would that preclude you from doing the other parts?
I think you could.
I don't think so. I mean, it might be cleaner if she just does the managerial.
Okay, well then,
Just for the avoidance of.
I can amend my motion to Larry, Dustin, and Virginia.
I have an amended motion. Do I have a second?
I second that.
I have a motion and a second. We will do a roll call. Ryan Taylor,
Aye.
Virginia Perry,
Aye.
Brian Culp,
Aye.
Dana Heidenreich,
Aye.
and Dustin Stanley. Aye. Motion carries. The EDC, I assume, will decide later on. Town council.
So we just need a motion to, so we need a motion to put one member onto the committee.
We'll make the motion. Even though I know what you say, the paperwork is, and I understand that, I still think it would be a good idea to have either the president or vice president. You've already said no, Jessica is kind of asked her, and she said yes, so I think I understand.
Okay, Tom Worthing makes a motion to put Jessica Hester on the committee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jeff Cook seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call. Jeff Cook, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jeff Cook votes aye. Jessica Hester, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jessica Hester votes aye. Justin Stanley, how do you vote?
Aye.
Justin Stanley votes aye. Tom Worthing, how do you vote?
Aye.
Tom Worthing votes aye. Jane Williams votes aye. Motion passes.
Motion to adjourn our
Yeah.
joint meeting, and then we can start our redevelopment commission meeting.
I will accept a motion to adjourn the joint meeting from the RDC.
So moved.
Virginia Perry makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Brian Taylor. We'll do a roll call. Brian Culp,
Aye.
Dana Heidenreich,
Aye.
Ryan Taylor,
Aye.
Virginia Perry,
Aye.
Dustin Stanley votes aye. RDC members, just hang on real quick. We're going to have to take a couple minutes and reset and then start our other meeting.
Do you guys want to vote?
Yeah, we need to vote to, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'm sorry?
I said I'll second.
Okay, Tom Worthing makes the motion to adjourn. Councilman Stanley seconds.